When I was first starting the virtual assistance agency, as soon as a sale would be completed and a contract was effectively signed, I would then have to recognize that notification in my email and proceed with the service delivery onboarding experience, which meant I would go and connect the appropriate talent that I thought was a good fit for my client, my now client, and I'd send, prepare a service introduction email. I would set expectations with the client about all the, details that they need to know about when they can expect to be charged and so on and so forth. And I would periodically then go on to post onboarding, check-in, maintenance, and all that stuff. What I found really interesting in my approach to building efficiency with service delivery onboarding is I want to make it so that anytime behavior is performed that's not me, then that would just trigger other behavior that would otherwise be my initiative. So, for instance, if the sales contract was signed, I'd like kickoff to immediately become engaged. And what that would entail is emails, that would entail communications, that would entail just even triggering the documentation of a matchmaking action item, right, that I have to perform. If no longer me, but I had to create the instance and sort of track that and manage myself through that action item record. That was one of the first things that I took care of, was just having that kickoff effect. From there, it really became a question of, well, how else do I streamline my experiences for the clients when they're going into service delivery onboarding? What can I do to maintain communications on an ongoing basis as to the status updates of what's going on? How can I trigger as I meet certain stages in the process of identifying the right talent, of making the necessary service introductions between the relationships, scheduling a follow up for feedback. Ironically, this is a little bit of introduction management, which is something I already know quite well in more networking and referral partnership capacities. But even so, within this particular frame of service delivery, I have a unique template, a unique design approach to that email. And yet, within a very basic automation flow in GoHighLevel, as just one CRM example exists, I am able to just say, hey, when XYZ happens, move this card over to the next stage. And because this card is now in that next stage, please trigger all of the corresponding communications and updates and use the data that's available within that card inside of the property fields to kind of, dynamically input certain details that are specific to this relationship. Not just their name, but, details about the VA that they're hiring, that we're hiring for them in that particular card, and what that particular relationship looks like, and so on and so forth. So, really, when it comes down to establishing efficiency, I mean, I like to think efficiency doesn't necessarily always mean speed. I mean, granted, that is an awesome metric to account for in service delivery ops, but I think communication matters more. I go back to my previous video about the Domino's pizza experience and what it's like to go through the onboarding of getting your pizza to your door. I think it's awesome that really, no matter how long it takes, granted it's 30 minutes, they're pretty good at speed too. No matter how long it takes, you know where your pizza is at all times. And I think that being efficient around those communication operations is of a tremendous value. It doesn't matter how long the service delivery onboarding experience takes, it matters how efficient you are in your delivery of the necessary communications and the progressing of steps that it takes to complete onboarding as a process. Hope these insights find you well and aware.